Welcome back to another episode where we unpack the National Electrical Code, one article at a time, in language that makes sense to students, apprentices, and future electricians. In this episode, we're focusing on NEC 110.26, Spaces about Electrical Equipment. It's one of the most important safety rules in the entire code book, and once you understand why it exists, you'll see how critical it is for every job site. Let's get into it. At its core, NEC 110.26 is about making sure there's enough working space around electrical equipment. This includes things like panels, switchboards, disconnects, motor control centers. In simple terms, NEC 110.26 is saying, when somebody needs to work on electrical equipment, there must be enough clear, safe, and accessible space in front and around that equipment. Think of it like this. You wouldn't want to work on a panel in a tight closet with your back against the wall, tripping over pipes or boxes, right? That's exactly what this rule is meant to prevent. NEC 110.26 was created for one main reason: to protect people who work on or near electrical equipment. When electricians or maintenance workers open up a panel or access a disconnect, they're often inches away from live energized components. If there's not enough space to stand, step back, or move safely, it can lead to accidental contact with live parts, arc flash injuries, falls or slips, or even death. This rule was born from real-world tragedies and injuries where poor access and cramped spaces made electrical work extremely dangerous. So this article is all about ensuring that safe working clearances are built in to the design of the building's electrical system, not treated as an afterthought. Now let's break down the code into what it actually says in simple everyday terms. NEC 110.26 covers three main areas. First, it's working space depth. The code requires a minimum depth of working space in front of the electrical equipment, and this depth depends on the voltage and the condition of what's in front of you. Here's a basic guide. For most standard systems under 600 volts, you need at least 3 feet or 36 inches of clear space in front of the panel. If there's a wall or another grounded surface directly in front, it might still be 3 feet. But if you have two live pieces of equipment facing each other, the space might need to be at least 3.5 feet or more. Why? Because you need room to safely open doors, move tools, wear PPE, and step back if something goes wrong. 2 is working space width. The space side to side also matters. The width of the working space must be at least the width of the equipment or 30 inches wide, whichever is greater. This space does not need to be centered, but it must be clear of obstructions like pipes, shelves, or walls. 3 is working space height. The space must be at least 6.5 feet high, or as tall as the equipment, whichever is taller. This means you can't install electrical gear under low ceilings or inside closets with overhead obstructions like water pipes or ducts hanging over the panel. And there's more. Here's a few more additional rules covered in this section that are good for students to know. Access and egress. If the equipment is rated 1200 amps or more and over 6 feet wide, there must be a way to exit from either end of the working space. so the worker isn't trapped during an emergency. Dedicated electrical space. The area directly above and below electrical panels must be kept clear. No plumbing, ducts, or storage allowed in this dedicated space. That's because if water pipes or sprinkler heads are above a panel, they could leak or burst and cause electrical hazards. Illumination. You also need adequate light in front of the panel. Working space shouldn't be dark or require a flashlight just to see what you're doing. Let's look at a real-world example. You're doing a panel upgrade in a commercial building. You find the old panel was installed in a janitor's closet with shelves on both sides, a water heater above, and a barely 24 inches of space in front of it. According to NEC 110.26, that installation isn't code compliant. That's not enough depth or width. Overhead clearance is violated. And storing cleaning supplies in a working space is a safety risk. That entire setup would need to be relocated or corrected to comply with the code and protect future workers. If you're just starting out, here's a few quick tips to help you remember NEC 110.26. The 3-foot rule. Always start by checking for 3 feet of clear space in front of panels and disconnects. No obstructions. Watch out for shelves, pipes, boxes, or duct work in working spaces. Measure everything. Use your tape measure on new installations and service upgrades to ensure compliance. Plan ahead. Make sure designs leave enough clearance, especially in utility rooms or tight mechanical spaces. Think about emergencies. If something went wrong, could someone safely step back, move, or exit the space? And that wraps up our deep dive into NEC 110.26, spaces about electrical equipment. To summarize, this rule ensures that electrical panels and equipment have enough safe space around them to work on. It protects workers from shock, arc flash, and physical hazards. It requires specific clearances in front, above, and around electrical gear, and it is one of the most commonly enforced code rules on the job sites and inspections. Whether you're in the classroom or on the job, always respect the space around electrical gear, because sometimes a few extra inches of clearance can mean the difference between a safe job and a serious incident. Thanks for learning with me today.